Welcome to Vantage Points, number 19. Today I'm going to tell you a little story, but before I do so, I just want to tell you, I'm coming from the cloud. As per my director, Steven.
Hey guys, Davon.
Okay, thanks, Steven. So, yeah, it's a white background, guys. Get that spinner out of my face. Thank you. Anyway, I don't have an attention deficit, so I'm not going to need my spinner today. But my director does. So, getting back on point, sorry. I'm here to tell you about telling stories. And right off the bat, we started with a little bit of humor. I wanted to make sure that you knew that when you're making videos, you want to capture a person's attention within the first 7 seconds. It's really hard to do so starting something out with something funny or original is a best bet. But today, I'm going to talk to you about interviewing yourself. It's a method of getting your message out, and people get to know you better. So, how do you interview yourself? Well, just write down some things that's happened in your life, and that you think other people might find interesting, and just tell your story. I'm not going to say script things because we don't want to script. We don't want to create content. We want to document. So that would be meaning just sitting down, having some bullet points so that you know where your conversation's leading you to, but don't have a script and read from it. It's put it this way: if you went to the movies and you saw an actress or an actor and you could just feel you start to cry because they've brought you to that emotion. Yes, there's a script that the words that you're hearing came from them and that made you cry, but what really made you have emotion was the inflection and the way they said it. So the scripting is inconsequential to the emotion that you feel because that person needed you to see and hear the way that they read it, the inflection. So don't be so tied down to scripting things. Just speak from the heart, and the emotion will come from there. So my story is I grew up in New York City, and I grew up on Broadway, basically. And I literally, because that's where my father's office, he had a recording studio right in the Times Square, heart of Times Square. And that's where I began going when I was very little, and I mean infant. So my earliest memories are walking down 7th Avenue and Broadway, and back then it was not the best place to be, and my mother would cover our eyes as she'd walk me and my brother down the street because it was quite raunchy back then, but has since turned into the Mecca where everyone goes, and tourism is the epicenter of New York City. So yeah, I grew up in the heart of the Big Apple, and it was a really great experience. My parents always let me be free and be creative because that is the kind of atmosphere we grew up in, with actors and actresses and playwrights and songwriters. The creativity was just around me at all times. So with that, I would ride the subway when I was little, and I say little, 10, 11, 12 years old, by myself around 12, and just, my playground was Times Square, and just hanging out at different places. As I got older, Manhattan was always my playground, but that I have a story of that when I was in grade school, probably elementary school. We went on a field trip to see a Broadway play, which was common. And we went to go see Zorba the Greek with Anthony Quinn, who's the number one Zorba. Anybody out there who's into plays. But after the play was over, we had time to kill before the bus needed to turn around and go back to school. And we had nothing to do. And I asked my teacher, I'm probably around 13 or so. And I said, hey, can I take my friends over to my dad's studio? It's a couple blocks up and one avenue over. And she was like, sure. And I don't know if that would happen today, in today's day and age, but I just exuded a confidence, and that she caught on to and said, and just had full faith in me. And it was really no big deal. We were all city kids to begin with. So took them down to my dad's studio. They got to, play with the drums and the piano and just play around with all the instruments in the studio, and it was a cool experience. But I tell you this story because it just gives you a sense of who I am and where my creativity comes from, and my freedom, my confidence, those levels that I got from growing up in New York and being given the ability to go out and do um, whatever I wanted to do. Of course, there was limits, but just giving me that freedom of creativity and being able to explore and just not be fearful. Being fearful was not something I grew up with. Um, I just think that was a really important part of my upbringing. So that's a little story about myself, and we're here at Advantage 8020 to help guide you with making videos for your 36 to convert marketing and for your social media and anything else that you can think of when it comes to growing the relationships between yourself and your database. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me through this Facebook page or through you can send me a text at 516-509-8058 and give me a call as well. We're here to help, and hope you found some value in today's video. Thanks a lot and have a great day.